Welcome to another week of Breaky recipes video. If you haven't seen my first week of breakfast, definitely check that one out. I shared 7 super healthy, delicious breakfast ideas, and I thought I would do another one because I have so many breakfast ideas, and I also discovered baked oats recently and it was game-changing, life-changing, amazing. So I decided to make another week of breakfast 2.0. I only have 5 recipes in this week of brekkies, so it's kind of like working week of brekkies because I only have like one morning a week where I actually get to have breakfast, not in a rush, not on the go, and at home. And that I'm gonna even lose that one morning a week when uni starts back. Yeah, so since I started work, I leave at like 5 a.m. so I just like pack overnight oats or a really quick smoothie. So this wasn't really filmed over a week, but it's still 5 delicious brekkie recipes as a mix of sweet and savoury, and I hope you enjoy the video. So I hope you guys don't mind the voiceover. Last time I made this video, it took me so long to add all the words. So baked oats, this, it's something else. You have to try it. So first, I use half a cup of oats and basically blend it into an oat flour. So I guess you could just go straight for oat flour, but yeah, just blend your oats into an oat flour. Then you get your bowl, and we're going to mix all our ingredients in this together. Okay, so the first ingredient is half a banana, which you're just going to mash all together into like a paste consistency. This part of the recipe is where you make the flavor of your oats, what you add after this. Then you're going to add half a cup of your favorite milk. I used almond milk, but you can use any other plant milk or milk that you like. And then you just give that a good little stir until it's all mixed in together. So as I was saying before, whatever you add from here is what determines your flavor. So for example, you could add like cacao powder and make it chocolatey. So you add your oats, and then you're going to add whatever other flavors you like. I like to add protein powder. For this one, I chose a vanilla fudge plentiful protein that I got from More Life. This is a vegan protein. I really like this one, but I have so many proteins I do like. So I added a scoop of that. Technically, it's half a scoop because a scoop is meant to be 2 of those little scoopers. So anyway, then I added a teaspoon of maca powder just for some extra health benefits, and it has a little bit of a nutty flavor. Then half a teaspoon of baking soda. This is important for when you bake it. And then a pinch of salt. So here is when you could add other things that, determine the flavor of the recipe you make, like cinnamon or whatever you like. So then I stir it all together into a lovely consistency and give it a little taste. So obviously I went for like a more vanilla flavor because I did make these vanilla cake batter vibe. And then I added some frozen berries. So this was just mixed frozen berries, and frozen berries mixed in is amazing because when you bake it in the oven, they melt and it's just beautiful. Highly recommend. So then I got an oven safe dish. I thought I should do like be all adult and like grease it. So I added a little bit of olive oil. But in saying that, this step is completely unnecessary because I've made this recipe since without doing that, and it made absolutely no difference. So then you pour all your ingredients into that oven safe dish, and then you pop it in the oven. So just spread it out. You can add some extra toppings here. I topped mine with some banana, which kind of just went all dried out, but still a vibe. So I popped it in the oven. It was around 180 degrees Celsius. I had preheated the oven before I started making my mixture, and it takes around 15 minutes to bake. So after 15 minutes, pop it out of the oven, and it is sexy. Look how beautiful they turned out. Amazing. So sorry about all this B-roll footage you're about to see, but it was just too pretty. I didn't want to cut it out. So please enjoy these beautiful shots of baked oats. also like to add a splash of almond milk or whichever plant milk you like, especially when it's super hot, so you can start eating it straight away. And oh my lord, this is amazing. So there are so many other baked oats, you know, like flavors you can do, and I am going to be posting lots on my @WholeFoodGram Instagram, so definitely check that out for more recipe ideas and flavors of baked oats. Okay, moving on to a savoury dish, we have a Nourish bowl. So for this Nourish bowl, I used a bunch of baked veggies. I already had some in the fridge, which you will see soon, but some that I didn't have left over in the fridge were Brussels sprouts and cauliflower, and I wanted them, so I decided to bake some. So first I popped them in the oven. I just chopped up some cauliflower and Brussels sprouts, added a little bit of olive oil, and then popped them in the oven at about 180 degrees Celsius until they were baked. Takes quite a while. I didn't time it, but I just kept checking up on them. So while those were baking, I got onto the rest of the Nourish bowl. So I sauteed some mushrooms because delicious, and then I boiled an egg. I boiled my egg for about 8 minutes. It was a little bit more cooked than I'd like, I think, because I left it sitting there for a bit. I liked it a little bit more soft boiled, so between 7 and 8 minutes. So I just cooked the mushrooms until they're all brown and sauteed, and then in the pan, I pan fried some kale, and this makes it go crispy and crunchy like kale chips. It's so good. I highly recommend it. So definitely give oven baking or pan frying your kale a go for this bowl. So when they started to look a little brown, I did flip the veggies that were in the oven. Obviously this takes a while, but this is a type of meal prep type of Nourish bowl. Usually I would have these baked already in the fridge as leftovers, and then that way I would use them as a Nourish bowl early in the day. And then it's time to build our bowl. So I get a lovely bowly plate, add my crispy kale, and then we add all our other goodness. So baked pumpkin and baked zucchini are the other baked veggies which were already meal prepped. Baked pumpkin is beautiful, please try it. Baked zucchini, it's okay, not my fave, but it's still nice, good for you. Then I add in the freshly new baked veggies, so the cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, the sauteed mushrooms, and some chickpeas. Then I added some savoury garlic hummus because, oh, hummus, yeah, the girls, a lovely dollop of hummus. And that is basically the bowl. So I cut my egg to do a lovely egg reveal, and a little disappointed because it was a little bit more boiled through than I liked. I like it a little bit more runny in the middle, but it was still a vibe, still beautiful. You can add some lime juice on top or any other herbs and spices that you think would go with it. And overall, this bowl is just a bunch of random delicious leftovers, which is super nourishing. I will add that the chickpeas we cooked from dried chickpeas. So basically they're just like soaked for overnight, a long time, and then boiled. You can use canned chickpeas or whatever chickpeas you like. You could do crispy or roasted chickpeas. I like these because I love how they get really fat and juicy when they're soaked overnight. I prefer them over canned chickpeas, but chickpeas are chickpeas, you know, no hate. We love chickpeas. So yeah, enjoy the rest of this B-roll footage again. Okay, we are back to another sweet recipe. This is a one for chocolate lovers, but a healthy version, a cacao smoothie bowl, which I accidentally made way too runny. So the first ingredient is frozen bananas. They must be frozen. I used about 1 large or 2 small to medium. You can add in more ice cubes, like a handful of ice for the more thicker texture. And then I added in 1/2 cup of almond milk. And then I just added a very heaped teaspoon of organic cacao powder. Next, time for the protein powder. So use a chocolate protein powder here. I have 2 at home and I couldn't pick which one I wanted to use, so I used 1/2 scoop of each. So I used the Googie's chocolate protein shake and then the Teamy wellness chocolate protein powder. So in total, 1 scoop of chocolate protein powder of your liking or choice. Then it's time to blend it up. So the key to blending thick smoothie bowls is, first of all, your blender, making sure you have less liquid to solid ratio in there. However, you need enough liquid for it to actually blend. So half a cup of almond milk is like the minimum for my blender at least. I ended up going way too hardcore and letting it blend for too long, so it did get too thick. One of the things I usually do is you have to take it out and stir it to let it get all blended up when it's really thick. But anyway, it was time to serve it, so I used this beautiful coconut bowl that I purchased because aesthetics. So I poured my a little bit too runny cacao nice cream smoothie bowl into that coconut bowl. It still tasted bloody beautiful. So even though it was a little bit runny, I was here for the very chocolatey flavor. Then it's time to top it with whatever you like. So I used some fresh banana. However, because it was so runny, they just kind of sunk, so it wasn't aesthetic. But anyway, then I used some cacao hemp baked granola. So I got this in a Goodness Me box and I really liked it. So I went on GOODNESSMESHOP and bought it again. So it's actually on sale on GOODNESSMESHOP. And I do have a discount code for GOODNESSMESHOP, but it's basically like an oat granola with coconut flakes, cacao, and hemp. It's really good. And that's basically it. Another thing I highly recommend topping the bowl with is a drizzle of nut butter, whatever your favorite nut butter is. I did this after I'd already taken all my shots, but midway through eating it, I was like, you know what? This would go so well with some peanut butter. And can I tell you, it did. So a drizzle of peanut butter, if you're like a Choc PB fan, goes a treat. I also like topping it with like cashews or almonds, like roast nuts. So yeah, just top it with whatever you're vibing, whatever you feel like, and that is the bowl. Oh, and strawberries and chocolate. Okay, we are back to a savory recipe. Look at that variety. So first of all, I added a little bit of olive oil to a pan which I heated to then fry an egg. So I started to fry my egg, yeah, the girls, and then I thought, you know what, no, let's go for 2 eggs. So I fried another egg. So I didn't want to promote one egg as being a decent amount of protein or calories for a breakfast recipe. So here we have our second egg. So basically this is pretty self-explanatory. Just fry the egg. I added some pepper. Okay, once we fried our eggs, time to move on to assembling the rest of the wrap. So I chopped up some mushrooms. I also cut myself, and then I sauteed those in a pan. Before I did that, I also started to chop up some other ingredients. So I used some cherry tomatoes or baby tomatoes, and I just diced these up to add to the wrap. I love these and prefer these over regular tomatoes, but use whatever your favorite is. And then time for a very important ingredient, our avocado. Was she a good one? Yes, she freaking was. So I sliced up some avocado to add to my wrap, and then I was sauteing those mushrooms in a pan. I also added a whole heap of baby spinach, which, as you know, if you cook with baby spinach, wilted down to next to nothing. Okay, time for our actual wrap. So I got this like random quinoa and chia bougie wraps because if you saw the sticker on them, they were on sale, but feel free to use any wrap that you like. Honestly, these wraps weren't even that great. So I added some of those sauteed veggies, added our fried egg, and some slices of that really good avocado, which I then added a whole lot of lime juice to, because avocado and lime is the combo. I don't even like avocado by itself that much, but obviously I still do, it's avocado. Then I sprinkled on a heap of chili flakes, added our cherry tomatoes, and wrapped up this questionable quinoa gluten-free wrap. Definitely would have preferred just a normal whole wheat mixed grain wrap, but it was still a wrap. We still love it. I added some more of those veggies to the side of my plate, and then I decided to toast my wrap up. So I added it to the pan to get nice and crispy, and it kind of just fell apart because it was that weird gluten-free wrap. But anyway, then I cut it through to reveal the beautiful goodness of this wrap. I really wanted the eggs to be a little bit runny inside. One of the yolks kind of cooked through a little bit too much, but the other one was beautiful and runny, so we love that. Look at her, delicious, amazing. Yes, the girls. So yeah, that was basically the brekkie wrap recipe. Okay, our final recipe is a green smoothie. I made this a tropical vibe because the fruit I added just was a tropical vibe. So first I added a whole heap of baby spinach, a couple of handfuls. I squished that down and added on top around a cup of frozen pineapple. That's my favorite fruit to go into green smoothies. You can also use frozen mango. I like both. And then I added about half a frozen banana. And then it was time for the liquids. Jokes, I forgot I added a whole heap of ice cubes, getting it nice and thick with all those solids. And then I added my liquid, so I put in 1 cup of coconut water, and then I also added in a cup of just normal tap water. And then it was time to add a little bit of greens powder. This is optional. I just did this because I had a greens powder from Teamy. I add about half a teaspoon because these powders, they can be a bit potent, a bit strong. So I added about half a teaspoon of that. I do have a Teamy discount code in the description box if you want to use it. Then I added about half a teaspoon of chia seeds to add some extra goodness. Then I wanted to add in some protein powder, so I used the Macromike banoffee flavor because I felt like the banana wouldn't, hinder the tropical vibe I was going for and make it too creamy or chocolatey or vanilla-y. So I liked that banana one. Yeah, you can use whatever you like though. And then I blended it all together. I kept stopping and starting my blender so that it didn't overheat because I have broken blenders by just going too hard on them. So once that's all blended through together and everything's mixed through, I poured it into a glass. Obviously you don't need to pour it into a glass. I would usually just drink it out of the smoothie, out of the blender, but for the purposes of this video, I poured it into a glass. It does look a little bit like Shrek Swamp, but then from some angles the lighting was really pretty. It was a gorgeous green color. So again, enjoy this B-roll of the green smoothie, which I then proceeded to scull within 40 seconds or so. So thank you guys so much for watching this week of Brecky's video. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know which recipe you're most interested to try out, and comment below your favorite breakfast of all time because I love breakfast and I love to find out what other people enjoy to have at breakfast. So that would be really interesting to share. And yeah, let me know if you guys would like more of this because I think I have an endless repertoire of brekkie ideas. Otherwise, if you did like this video, please give it a like, consider subscribing to my channel, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!